fall asleep on the train. It was late. The carriage was nearly empty, and the rhythmic clatter of wheels against tracks pulled his eyes shut. He had boarded at the last station before midnight, planning to ride just 3 stops home. But when he woke up, everything was wrong. The lights were still on, but dimmer, flickering slightly. The train was moving, but slower than before, and the carriage was empty, completely empty. Nabil sat up, rubbing his eyes. "Hello," he called. No answer. He checked his phone. No signal. The time read 3:17 a.m. "That's not possible," he muttered. He had only meant to rest for a few minutes. The train slowed. Nabil stood and looked out the window. A platform appeared. Dark, silent, no people, no signs, just a single flickering light above a rested bench. The train stopped with a long, tired hiss. The doors slid open. Nabil hesitated. "This isn't my stop." No announcement played, no name displayed. Still, something about staying on the train felt. "We're stopped," so he stepped off. The platform stretched endlessly in both directions. No exit signs. No stairs. No sound. Behind him, the train doors remained open. "Hello," Nabil called again. His voice echoed strangely, as if the space was too large, or too empty. Then a voice answered. "You got off." Nabil spun around. No one. "Who's there?" Silence. He took a few steps forward. The light above him flickered harder now, buzzing faintly. "You shouldn't have gotten off." The voice came from behind him, this time. Close. To close. Nabil turned quickly. Still nothing. But the train doors, they were closing. "Wait," he shouted, running toward them. Too late. The doors slid shut with a metallic thud. The train began to move. "Hey," Nabil pounded on the glass. "Stop, stop." Inside the carriage he froze. There was someone, sitting in his seat, a figure, perfectly still, watching him. The train picked up speed and disappeared into the darkness, leaving Nabil alone on the platform. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time didn't feel right anymore. Nabil tried to walk along the platform, hoping to find an exit, but the farther he went, the more it looked the same. Same bench. Same flickering light. Same cracked tiles. Like the place was looping. Then he saw it. Sign. Old, rusted, barely hanging from the ceiling. He stepped closer. The letters were scratched, almost unreadable, but he could make out a few words. "Last stop." And beneath it, carved roughly into the metal, "Do not wait for the next train." Nabil's throat went dry. What next train? As if answering him, he heard it. Far in the distance, the sound of another train approaching, a low rumble, growing louder. Nabil stepped back from the edge of the platform. "No," he whispered. "No, I'm not getting on that." The sound grew louder. Closer. The tracks began to shake. A wind rushed through the station, cold and unnatural. Then the train arrived. It looked like the one he had been on, but older. Dirter. The windows were dark. Too dark. The train screeched to a halt. The doors slid open. Inside pitch black. No lights. No movement. No sound. "Please," a voice whispered from within. Nabil shook his head. "No, it's cold." The voice sounded human. Weak. Desperate. "Help me." Nabil clenched his fists. "This isn't real," he said. "This isn't real. You left me." His heart skipped. That voice, it sounded like him. From inside the train, something shifted. A figure slowly stepped into the doorway. It looked like Nabil. Same face. Same clothes. But wrong. Its skin was pale, almost gray. Its eyes were hollow, and its smile too wide. "You got off," it said. Nabil stumbled back. "Stay away from me." The thing tilted its head. "You weren't supposed to wake up." "I'm not getting on that train," Nabil said. The thing's smile widened further. "You already did." The lights on the platform flickered violently. For a moment everything went dark. When the lights came back on, Nabil gasped. The platform was full. Dozens of people stood around him. All silent, all staring. Their faces blank, their eyes empty. And every single one of them looked exactly like him. The train let out a low, echoing horn. The doors remained open. Waiting. The copies began to move. Slowly. In unison toward the train. Nabil backed away. No, no, no. One of them grabbed his arm. Its grip was cold. Too strong. You have to get on, it said in his voice. Let go of me, he shouted, struggling. Another one grabbed him, then another. They dragged him toward the open doors. You missed your stop, they whispered together. You don't belong there anymore, Nabil screamed, kicking, fighting, but they were too many. They pulled him inside the train. The darkness swallowed him instantly. The doors slammed shut. The train began to move. Inside, there were no lights. Only whispers. Soft. Endless. Next stop. Next stop. Next stop. The following night, a nearly empty train slowed near the last station. A young man sat alone by the window, struggling to stay awake. His eyes fluttered shut. Just for a moment. When he woke up, the carriage was empty. The lights were dim, and outside the window, a dark, silent platform waited. The train stopped. The doors slid open. And from somewhere far down the platform, a familiar voice whispered, "You got off."